Hi everyone! So today I wanted to talk about a topic that a lot of cosplayers talk about, and it's like, is cosplay really as expensive as people make it out to be? So I just think it would be a really interesting thing to go over, considering I've had to deal with it, considering I don't have a job. I don't have my own personal job, I don't have a source of income, I never have. I'm really young, and I've never really had the opportunity to have a job and make my own currency so I could pay for my own cosplay. So I'm going to talk about that today. So for as long as I've been cosplaying, I've had to rely on my parents to buy me tickets to conventions and give me my allowance. Not as much as my money has gone into cosplay as you think. I have a lot of tips and tricks that I think are really important for people to know so they can avoid spending all of their money on cosplay. Number 1, I never buy fabric from fabric stores. I have recently, actually, for a skirt that I made this skirt for my Snow White cosplay from The Wolf Among Us. And this is the first not the first thing. Well, actually might be the first thing I have made with fabric that I bought at a fabric store. The reason why I avoid buying fabric at fabric stores is because if you don't have a lot of money, like I don't have a lot of money as I've established, fabric gets really expensive because you buy it by the yard, and depending on the fabric you get, it gets really expensive. Spandex is really expensive, and if you want to make something that needs a lot of fabric, you could really end up just losing a whole lot of money just in the fabric and not even the supplies to make the rest of the costume. So that's where I think a lot of people are mistaken, thinking that you have to buy certain materials to make certain things from certain stores. Fun fact, I mainly use bed sheets. That's right, you heard me, bed sheets from thrift stores. And that sounds really gross, but they actually work really well because it's a couple of yards of fabric for like 30 cents sometimes. For example, my Tafiti cosplay, that one, that amazing one, that cool one, with the football gown, entirely out of bed sheets, and like a lace doily that we bought at a thrift store. So I don't know, I just personally, I don't think you need it. If you think that it's necessary for your cosplay, then go ahead. I'm not discouraging you from buying fabric. I understand. Buying fabric for the first time, it was like awesome. Like that skirt is the best skirt I've ever made, and I will say that getting actual fabric is more high quality than getting bed sheets and stuff to work on cosplays. But if you are really tight for money, don't overlook that. Don't think that you need to get fabric from Joann all the time, because that's not true. You can really cut corners on fabric. Number 2, don't be afraid to brave Amazon or eBay or AliExpress to get a wig. Everybody thinks that you need to go to these really fancy wig stores and buy wigs for $38, $38 to $50 sometimes, and that's the only way you can get a good, decent wig. That is not true. It's just, let's just throw that out the window right now. I have bought every single wig I've ever owned from Amazon. This wig that I got for my Aoi Asahina cosplay, it looks really funky on the wig head because the wig head's way too small. I got this for my Aoi Asahina. Perfectly fine, really high quality, and I can't wait to wear it. Cannot wait to wear that wig. I got this wig also from Amazon for my Women of Color Bubbles cosplay that I'm doing at Otakon. Really high quality, super soft. It's thin in some places, but the thing is, it's not like, you can sort of see where it thins, like where you can see my finger, but it's not that big of a deal. Really, if you wear a light colored wig cap and you keep people from looking directly at the back of your head, you're fine, especially if it's really hard to find wigs like this anywhere else. So Amazon, perfect. This wig, really old. It was like my second wig I ever got, and I haven't once brushed it. But look how like non-tangled it is for not being brushed. And if you notice, it's choppy at the bottom. That's because I cut it before I knew how to cut wigs. So this wig I've had for literally ever, and I never even wore it. But it's still really good quality for just be sitting on my closet for literally years. From Amazon. Once again, it's really soft too. It's like a really good wig. I just never used it. And this is my Allura wig that I also got from Amazon. Do you see a trend here? And again, the only reason why it's a little tangled is because it's just been hanging on my closet for like ever. And it's super nice and curly, super soft. It has a really nice fake part here that like looks like really like genuine. It looks really good for like a fake part, and it goes decently back, and it's the perfect Allura wig. And I only spent like, I don't know, the most I spent on a wig on Amazon is like, I think $30. $30. And I think this might have been the most expensive wig I ever got on Amazon. Like really. Like this one I think was maybe 15. The Aoi Asahina one I showed you I think that one was 17, and then I think the Bubbles wig was also 15. So those are like some really, really good high quality wigs that I got for such an affordable price on Amazon. So don't you ever let anybody tell you that you have to get super expensive wigs all the time. Like, I understand you want to splurge on that lace front from all of those stores, you want to buy one at a convention for $50, go ahead. If you want that, I'm not discouraging you from that. But if you are actually struggling and you want to cosplay and you don't have enough money to buy a wig from those places, don't be afraid for Amazon. Don't be afraid. Everybody's scared of Amazon. Also, another thing about Amazon wigs is that you just have to make sure you look at the ratings, because that also goes for eBay wigs. I've never bought an eBay wig. Sorry, excuse me. But they're pretty similar from Amazon wigs. You just have to make sure that they have, I always have a rule of thumb, over 100 reviews, 4 stars or up. That's it. Nothing below. Don't go for 3. I got one wig for 3 on 3 stars from Amazon one time, and I ended up crying at a convention because it kept slipping off and it was really thin in the front. It was just terrible. So don't go below 4. But there's plenty of wigs on there that you can find. Also, I know there's a lot of controversy with Amazon and the owner, and like he sucks and everything. So go on eBay. Go on AliExpress. Like really, if you don't want to use Amazon, there's so many other cheap alternatives too. It's not just Amazon. That's just my personal experience. And eBay is completely good option, and AliExpress, completely decent option. Just one rule of thumb: never, and I mean never, get a Halloween wig. Ever. Don't do it. I say you can have cheap wigs, but Halloween wig for $5 is not going to do what you want it to do. It's going to be shiny, it's going to be shedding, it's going to be bald in places. Just don't risk it. It's not a good idea. Just don't risk it. Just please don't do Halloween wigs. I've never made that mistake, but I've seen it. It's not good. It's not good. You want your cosplay to look good, and it's not going to look good with a Halloween wig. Another way to save money is I like to go to the thrift store. I mentioned earlier that I like to use bed sheets for fabric instead of actual fabric. I also like to buy articles of clothing that already exist and then modify them so they work for my cosplay. I have a lot of examples of this too. Going back to my Aoi Asahina cosplay, I'm just talking about that so much is because I'm so excited to do it for Otakon. I made these shorts out of a pair of exercise pants. So they were long, and then I cut them into shorts, and then I painted on the white stripes. See? So I painted it by hand, and now they look like just like her shorts. I did that all on my own from modifying these pants, and I got those pants for like $5. So these were $5 shorts. No need to buy really fancy replica shorts or make them all from scratch when you can just get a pair of pre-made shorts in the similar color and then add on the modifications. It's easy. Another Aoi Asahina piece is her jacket, also modified. So I got a red hoodie that was in the right color, and I painted on the stripes and I Mod Podged the neck up so it sticks up like hers does. And then I painted on a little symbol, and now it's the Aoi Asahina sweater. It's just like it. I'm just gonna do the rest of the video in this jacket. I really like it. I'm really proud of it. I think I did a really good job. Just, it's a little bit bunchy right now because I have sleeves on under it and it's supposed to be going with the tank top, so it's a little bunchy right now. It's not gonna be like that when I wear it, believe me. And the last example I have is my Snow White shirt for my Snow White cosplay from The Wolf Among Us. I've also mentioned this one a lot, I think, on my channel lately. And all I did was I took a blue shirt from the store and I painted the lines onto it, and now it fits her perfectly. A lot of people would make this shirt, and again, like I've been saying, if you feel like you want to, or if you feel like it's necessary, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. But if you really, really, really feel like you're struggling with funds and you feel like you can't afford it, please don't forget that these are options too. Not everybody has enough money to go and make things from scratch. Not everybody has enough skills to go and make things from scratch. That's the other thing. I like modifying like this, also since it's good for, like, I mean, I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's really good for the environment also to reuse clothing like that, and you're using it for something, and that's why it's at the thrift store, for people to come and use it. So don't forget that that's an actual option you can do. Well, I think that's all the tips I have for you today. If you want more tips, comment down below. Tell me that if you want more. I have plenty more up my sleeve, and I will gladly share them with you. I just want to make life easier for new upcoming cosplayers. Nobody deserves to throw up so much money for a cosplay. It's not, you shouldn't have to. If you want to, good, go ahead, but you shouldn't have to. So, that's it. That's all.